What's the basic definition of consciousness then? What is this thing that materialists and animists will kind of scrapping over?
Well, I mean, there's hundreds of definitions, but it's to do with awareness, and as I said, to start with, possibility. That's my own definition. It's about a realm of possibility. They would say it's about perception, awareness, algorithms in the brain. You know, as soon as you get into modern cognitive neuroscience, then the brain is a computer, consciousness is just the software programs running it. But they, of course, needn't be conscious. In fact, they're not conscious. So in the materialist philosophy of mind, consciousness is either an epiphenomenon that does nothing, like a kind of shadow of physical activity in the brain. It has no role, and there's no free will, it doesn't actually do anything. That's the majority view. Or else it's an illusion produced by brains, because it might have some conceivable evolutionary advantage, but it still doesn't do anything. The problem is that to call consciousness an illusion doesn't explain it, it presupposes it, because illusion is itself a mode of consciousness. So philosophers of mind in the materialist school go round and round in circles like dogs chasing their tails, trying to explain it, never succeed. And any one of them comes up with a theory, another one will point out the flaws, and they come up with their own, and the other one will point out the flaws in it. And that's why it's called, the very existence of consciousness is called the hard problem.
It seems to me a major part of that is just the limitations of language, of a word to adequately describe a phenomenon in a way. The hard problem is, will show many things, but one of it is just how limited English or language is to describe stuff.
I don't think the problem with consciousness is a problem of language. I mean, language itself, of course, is a product of consciousness. And language is inadequate to explain many things, including the ultimate nature of reality, the beginning of the universe, and so forth. But I don't think that the problem is with language. I think the problem is with worldviews. And do you have a worldview that's essentially an atheist, materialist worldview? There is no God, there is no consciousness out there. The universe is unconscious. It's purposeless, meaningless. Everything's happened by chance or accident. The laws of nature have no particular reason to be one way or the other. We just live in a universe where they happen to be right for us. Evolution is a matter of blind chance mutations and blind natural selection. That's a worldview that says that consciousness has just emerged in our brains and doesn't actually do anything, also that we don't have free will. A deeply depressing worldview, and I think that when you have whole societies based on it like ours, what you'd predict is that lots of people would suffer from depression, and the facts actually bear that out. If you think you live in a meaningless world where your mind is just in your brain and is nothing more than what's happening inside your head, not truly related to anything else, deeply depressing. Whereas if you think that consciousness is primary, that we live in a universe that's purposeful, that our minds are part of something much greater than ourselves, that mystical experiences connect us with greater minds than our own, they're not just serotonin levels changing inside our brains, then you have a completely different view of the universe. It's not just a matter of language.